creatures of the night? It's your girl Tati. Let's talk about wrestling drama. I was getting ready to watch my Bray Wyatt documentary. I was just getting comfy on the couch, and I kept seeing things about CM Punk, and I'm just like, all right, let me check this out because I didn't care to watch Raw. Very interesting interview. We'll get to that in a second, but first I want to talk about the AEW releases that were announced tonight by Fightful. Sean Sapp, whatever the fuck his name is, he released some names. He said at first that, he's getting the scoop about people who are released from AEW, and then he came on not too long after and released some names. Now, at first I was like, hey, I ain't no dummy, okay? It's April Fool's Day. I'm not taking anything anyone say about wrestling today seriously at all. But then as some of the names start coming in, I was just like, wait a minute. This could be true. I just wanted to see confirmation from those people. And I just wanted to hear from more credible sources because Sean Sapp has been wrong about things. But like I said, because of it being April Fool's Day, I kind of wasn't believing it. So the names that we have, I feel like it's a little bit more on the side of Ring of Honor, I guess. We have Stu Grayson. And this is so funny because some of these names I've just literally been talking about these past few weeks. Stu Grayson, I've been wondering what happened with him when he had a really cool run with the Righteous last year. Also Dasha, the ring announcer. She was literally on Collision on Saturday, and I'm just like, holy shit, what? I'm not a fan of her voice. However, she has really cool vibes. She's beautiful, and I love seeing a woman taking up spaces in professional wrestling, and she's being released. I don't understand. I don't know what's up with that. The one that broke my heart, Anthony Henry. If y'all watch my Ring of Honor watch-alongs and review, y'all know I put Anthony Henry real high when it comes to not just Ring of Honor, but as a wrestler. And I always talk about how I want to see him, break out and be a single star in AEW because this man is absolutely so freaking talented. Now, a couple of weeks ago on Ring of Honor, he broke his jaw, okay? He had his surgery like less than 2 weeks ago. He had his jaw surgery. His mouth is literally wired shut right now, okay? And he's injured. He's at home, and everybody was so worried about him, want to know when he's coming back. It's obviously was going to take a long recovery. However, he won't be coming back. And that one right there kind of was like I felt some type of way about that one because I really, really felt strong about how he performs. And I kept saying, he's really great in the tag team with JD Drake. And I felt like as a singles competitor that he probably would have been even better and could have been a huge star. And unfortunately, we're not going to see that, at least in AEW. Jose, the assistant, which is crazy to me because, well, he's cool or whatever. I never had an issue with Jose. If you've been paying attention to Roosh social media lately, he's really been trying to be vocal about getting LFI back on TV. Y'all saw they had a whole bunch of cool vignettes of them in Mexico and getting kidnapped and all this crazy stuff that LFI was doing. That was absolutely cool. And then they did nothing with them after that. Nothing at all. And now Jose is gone. I know he's not one of the wrestlers over there, but hey, I love heel managers. I don't want it to be like one of those things that die out in pro wrestling. I don't know what it is, but that one kind of surprised me. And he did sort of confirm that on his X account about an hour ago. Parker Boudreaux, I thought he was going to return. To be honest, I thought Ben was released. Like a week or two ago, he was at a Mexican promotion. I can't remember which one it was. And that was the first time anybody has seen him in a ring in a very, very long time. The last time was sometimes when he was part of the Mogul affiliates with Swerve and whoever the other one with the tatted up face name is. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's coming back to AEW. But no, his ass is gone too. Gravity. I'm not shocked, not really. He actually started out to be like one of the the ones that always winning over there in AEW, well, Ring of Honor actually. And then all of a sudden, he's been taking nothing but L's for the longest. I'm like surprised, but not surprised. And it makes me wonder about Bandito, because Bandito is his older brother who has been injured with a broken wrist. The doctors keep saying, hey, you're not ready, you're not ready, you're not ready. Every time he feels like maybe he's ready, he's still recovering from that broken wrist too. And I'm wondering what's going to happen with Bandito. Now, Jora Jong, I don't know if y'all remember him. He's the Indian guy. I don't have much to say about him. Let me move on. Slim J. If you guys watch my Ring of Honor stuff, y'all know Slim J is another one for me. He comes in and out or whatever, but every time he comes, he's so amazing. Every single time he's in the ring, I absolutely enjoy him. And I always say, like, why aren't they using Slim J more? He's one of those other Ring of Honor originals as well. However, I just don't know. He's really, really great in the ring, and I'm not sure. And the one that really got me off my couch was the boys. The boys, yes. Brent and Brandon, the ones that are always with, what's his name, Dalton Castle. They've been released. And I have to say this. I didn't see this coming, but it's almost as if it's been a while since AEW knew that they were going to give them the boot, or probably Ben gave them the boot, because if you have been paying attention to the storyline, Dalton Castle had that match with Johnny TV. If he loses the match, then Taya Valkyrie and Johnny gets custody of the boys. But since the boys have been with Johnny and Taya from that match, we had not seen them since. They mention them every fucking week. Then they start saying, oh, well, we lost the boys. We don't know what happened to them. And I'm just like, okay. Now you're seeing Dalton Castle miserable without the boys. Now he got some new boys that are just not doing it for me. But I'm looking at the situation. I'm just like, well, the story would be interesting if they included the boys. And they have not included them. And now it makes sense as to why they haven't been included into the storyline, because they must have probably been told weeks ago that they're no longer a part of the company, or they won't be part of the company. Or maybe this is just a way to get them out of the company by having the storyline where they lost them for fucking ever. And now I'm looking at it, I'm just like, whoa, the boys are very entertaining as well. Yes, they're part of silly, stupid storylines. However, if you've ever seen these guys actually wrestle, they're very entertaining. And they're twins. That's always sort of unique with wrestling. And it just sucks that we're not going to be able to see them in AEW anymore, or Ring of Honor, which is crazy because they've been with Dalton for fucking years, so many years. And it's like, when you see Dalton, you see the boys. And it's not like Dalton's not going to be able to move on, which he will. But the craziest thing is that they're a trio. They really are. And not seeing them with Dalton is going to be so weird. Because if you guys been watching Dalton Castle's career, even years ago when he was in Ring of Honor, he's had the boys for a very long time. And it's really unfortunate. I'm pretty sure wherever they go, anyone's going to be able to be happy to have anybody who's been released. Now, at first, I didn't want to say anything about these names because, like I said, it's April Fool's Day. And let me come at you, Sean. Sean, this is what I'm saying. You want to call yourself a reporter or whatever the hell. The situation is that Sean wants to be the first motherfucker to announce, to break out the story. He wants everybody to refer to Fightful to be the first ones to say so-and-so has been released. That you would do it today of all days for two things. The CM Punk interview where CM Punk just totally shitted on AEW a couple of hours ago before you even knew a motherfucking name on this list. And then two, it being April Fool's Day where in a way, you're sort of messing with the fans mentally because the fans are like, well, he's probably joking, trying to make a joke or whatever. It's April Fool's, ha ha ha. And really, that's not the case. So it's like, you couldn't wait till tomorrow to break this out. It's just crazy to me. I don't know. If it was me, I had the scoop, I would have been like, it's April Fool's Day. Let me wait till tomorrow. After midnight at least. And it's crazy to see these things and to see on social media these people getting so much love. I really do appreciate that, In my opinion, they probably have been released for some time, especially when I look at the boys' situation. So I don't know about everyone else. Stu Grayson been gone for the longest. But Dasha, we literally just saw her 2 days ago on the show. It's absolutely insane. And, you know, wherever they go, I hope they are going to be treated right. What kind of confirmed it is that other AEW wrestlers are pretty much putting their feelings out about those who have been released or whatever. So if they truly didn't know, then they probably wouldn't have said anything anyway. So for me, that's pretty much the confirmation I needed. But like I said, because of the whole April Fool's thing and because of the CM Punk thing, y'all, actually, let's get into a little bit of the details about what CM Punk said. All right, y'all. So CM Punk was on the MMA Hour talking about WWE and his time in AEW. He did spill the tea, but in my opinion, it could have been a little hotter. He did talk about what was going to be the plan for Mania, even though a lot of ideas were shot out there, was for him to go against Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. And I'm not happy about CM Punk being injured or anything, but I'm glad it didn't happen because honestly, that was a SummerSlam type of situation. That was a let the story cook type of situation. If they would have did this at WrestleMania, I don't think it would have been the best outcome. Now, let's talk about the AEW stuff. Now, he did say that, he said that there were some things in his career that he enjoyed in terms of his promos and matches and people he got to work with. He made some friends while he was over there, even though he's not that make a friend type of dude. He keeps saying that, which is just like, bro, you made friends. Like, get over it. It's fine, The whole thing with Jack Perry, though, it seemed like he can give details about that because according to him, there's no NDA situation when it came to that. It was a more of a I don't want to talk about it type of situation. Whereas the whole Young Fuck situation with Kenny, the dog, and everything else, that right there, there's an NDA for that, and he can't talk about those things. Now, going back to the Jack Perry thing, situation was there was a rental car that was going to be involved with him and Hook. And everyone was saying no, even though Jack Perry thought it was a great idea. Then Tony Schiavone went and grabbed Punk and said, Punk, we need a voice of reason. We need somebody to come over here and tell Jack Perry that this is not a good idea. Where was Tony Khan? I had no clue. Now, CM Punk over there and he lets Jack explains what the fuck he wanted to do. And CM Punk said, look, it's not a good idea. This is a rental car. We can't just return this car back like this. The wrestling business already have a bad rap when it comes to using props and things like that. And he said, this is not a good idea. If you felt like this is something you want to do, you ain't going to do this shit up in here in Collision. You can go ahead and take it up on Dynamite. And he said, okay. And that was pretty much it. But from there, you guys saw the All In pay-per-view when he had that spot with Hook, with that limo. He did say something about Crimea River, look, broken glass, whatever. Obviously, directing those comments to CM Punk. CM Punk, backstage, he was in his room and he saw that. He went to Tony Khan and said, did you see that? Did you see this bitch talking about me? Did he say like that? No. But basically, he went over to let him know that you saw what he did. He's throwing jabs at me in front of the fucking camera, in front of all these people who's watching the show. Now, he goes, you better handle it or I will. And according to CM Punk, Tony Khan is more like a friend instead of an actual fucking boss. So he didn't really take the situation and take control. And obviously things got physical between him and Jack Perry. Do I believe that it should have went that far? Absolutely not. CM Punk should have not gotten physical with Jack Perry at all. After that situation, then he goes and said he quit, that he's done with the company, and he was walking away. And it took Samoa Joe, Jerry Lynn, and somebody else, I can't remember. They all went over there and told him, please come out and do this. Come on, do this for me. Do this for the fans. All these people here in London, they're here to see you. Come on out. CM Punk goes out there. They do the match. After the match, Punk says that him, the dudes from House of Black, Samoa Joe, some other people, they all went to the locker room. They watching the show. They cutting up, having a good time or whatever. And then some big ass security guard came in and he said, I mean, is it going to be easy for you to like leave on your own or what? And basically, it's like he's saying that I don't want to put you out, but they probably saying get your ass out of here. And CM Punk ends up leaving, and all those guys that were with him in the room, Punk said that they actually all left and went with Punk to his hotel room, and they went and continued to have a good time. And then from there, he ain't see Tony Khan ever fucking again. He did talk about how Tony Khan have more of a company where they're not about selling tickets, they're not about selling merchandise. And in a way, I agree, because I've told you guys before that their marketing absolutely fucking sucks. The only fucking show that we know about is the All In pay-per-view, because they talk about it every second they can. But then these other shows that they're doing throughout the year, those venues are empty as fuck. Half the crowd half that venue is just empty. And the reason why is because they spend so much time talking about All In that you don't hear anything about any of the other shows. Friday, Supercard of Honor pay-per-view is going to be in Philadelphia, where all the fucking wrestling fans are going to be. If they cannot sell out that venue, which I'm not familiar with what venue they're using, there's a problem. They have not one time, not once, advertises Ring of Honor pay-per-view on AEW TV. But you watch Ring of Honor on the Honor Club, all you see is AEW Dynasty, AEW All In, and everything else that's happening other than the fuck is going on in Ring of Honor. So I get what Punk is saying. There's a lack of them really pushing out merch. There is a lack of them pushing out tickets, and that's just the truth, and that's something that I've stated before, so I do understand that. However, I do look at AEW as, yeah, they're providing sports entertainment, but I do believe that they really have pro wrestling best interests in mind. I really do believe that they do. However, Tony Khan is inexperienced, and he seems to not want to let other people with experience in the wrestling business help take control in AEW so they can be in a better place than where it is right now. And for me, I just have to say, like, in terms of how things have been dealt with in AEW, I'm disappointed in everyone. And it does kind of show me that when I look at Tony Khan, he don't look like a type of person to have his foot down. He's always laughing and looking afraid. He's always, there's something about him where it's just like, okay, you got the money to do all this, but you probably don't have the mindset and the balls to really take control of this company, which is why I said, like, you have a lot of people who's working for AEW who are back in the shadows. They're not having opportunity to put their say-so on how to make this company great. And for me, as much as I love AEW, and I'm not gonna lie, AEW did really spark my interest in pro wrestling again, and I still do appreciate what they do. There are so many opportunities to make the company so much better than what it is right now, and for whatever reason, Tony Khan don't have all his eggs in the basket, even though he has all the eggs. Like, figuratively, he has all these people who's been in the wrestling business for so long, all these legends, all these people who has been there, done that. Why are you not stepping aside and saying, I would love to be part of making decisions in this company creatively, but I need people who's going to help take this company to greater heights. And I honestly believe that he has not ever really tapped into all the help that he has at AEW. Now, the guy who is over here doing the interview, he seemed to, for the most part, try to be professional, but then he go and throw out a jab or two towards AEW for fun or whatever like that. That kind of threw me off, because I was kind of taking him seriously as a reporter, interviewer, whatever he does. And once I started hearing the little jabs that he's throwing at AEW, I was just like, I thought he was going to be professional about this, And then I'll also say this. Like I said, I love Phil Brooks, but I also think he was very wrong in the situation too. I do believe that he came into AEW after saying a whole bunch of shit about WWE, and even saying a lot of shit about WWE, taking jabs at them when he was in AEW. I do think that he came to AEW, obviously to wrestle and revive his wrestling career. Yes. But I also believe that he looked at himself as a veteran, someone who could be a locker room general or whatever. And the situation is that him coming into AEW, a lot of people already didn't give a fuck about him and didn't really care about his opinions to begin with. And for what reason, I have no clue. But I do believe that CM Punk probably did have really great advice to give. And I agree with the advice that he gave to Jack Perry. It just, obviously, he don't want to listen. Now, if you go look on X, people are posting all these wonderful things about Jack Perry. Y'all bitches don't even know how old he is. Y'all don't even know what his favorite color is. But y'all talking about he the savior of pro wrestling. Like, come on now. Like, he has not really done much in pro wrestling. Sure, he had won tag titles in AEW. He's not great on the mic. He's a great wrestler, I do believe that. But he was looking to make some mistakes in the ring, and people tried to talk him out of it. And rather than listening to people who hold weight in this business, he wanted to do things that he wanted to do. And I do believe that when it comes to wrestling in particular, because I don't know anything about other sports, you kind of like, what's the problem with listening to people who are your seniority, the people who has already been there and done that? If they tell you it's not a good idea, you can express your concerns, but why not listen to these guys? You know what I mean? I don't know what, I don't really want to get too much into the whole Jack Perry thing. I think I said enough about that. But, in my opinion, CM Punk seemed to want to say, he was like, he didn't want to say anything, but he's going to say anything. But the reason why he's going to say something was because he didn't want to be that dude to come on an interview and say, I don't want to say anything. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? So he says certain things about AEW. Like I said, the thing that happened after the media scrum, he said he couldn't talk about that. Okay, cool. That's the one I really wanted to hear about, to be honest with you. I didn't care about the whole Jack Perry stuff, but it was nice to hear a little about that. But what I can say is he did make it seem like he had an absolute horrible time in AEW. And that might have been the case. No one can sit here and say what type of experience he had or not. That's his experience. But you're not going to sit here and try to make it seem like because Hunter gave you a call, Kevin, whoever the fuck that was that gave him a call. Oh, no, it was Nick Khan, he said, that gave him a call about coming back to the WWE. And he did a FaceTime with Triple H, because Triple H said, I don't want to just hear your voice, I want to see your face. Okay, he pretty much said it like that. And they FaceTime and they buried the hatchet or whatever like that. However, that doesn't change the horrible experiences that he had in WWE in the past too. Remember, he had a lot to say about that, but here he is trying to glorify WWE in a way where it's like, this is a place where there's nothing but good things happening here. And that's not the case, because even you have said negative things about you having negative experiences with WWE. And I am not going to sit here and believe for 1 second that everybody who walks through those doors in WWE has had positive experiences, just like AEW or wherever other company. People go and have great experiences in one place, and in that very same place, someone else is having a very negative opinions about where they work as well. Y'all can go ahead and check it out in YouTube. It's about 2 hours if you got the time. If you ain't doing nothing, go ahead and check it out. On that same show, Rhea Ripley was interviewed as well. I had already just given up 2 hours of my time to see what CM Punk had to say, so I didn't listen to what Rhea had to say. I'm gonna have to check that out another time. But this whole thing is interesting to me, where it's just like, we finally get to hear some stuff about CM Punk. And while I felt like I agreed about certain things that put AEW in a negative light, I'm not going to sit here and just act like CM Punk said the truth about every single thing. And I'm not going to sit here and say that because now that he left that company, that he's in WWE and it's just the best place on earth. I don't believe that there either. Because look at what the fuck is happening with John Laurinaitis and Vinnie Mac and all those other people who has come through the company and taken advantage of so many people. I don't see that place to be a much better place either. But guys, let me know what your opinions are about all this stuff, and I'll check you guys back out on Wednesday for Dynamite.